Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet a true connector. He is bringing the energy industry together. His journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
There's an old saying that your network is your net worth, and I couldn't agree more. And I know JP Warren from Connection Crue couldn't agree more as well. Thanks for coming on the show.
Jeff, thank you so much for having me. It's exciting to be here. This is definitely next level, and I love what you're doing here and what your team's doing here. They're very professional, great people, so I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Well, I'm honored, and I love what you're doing in the energy sector because truly there are a lot of people who are competitors, but if you get them in the same room, they all have the same problems. They're working with the same clients. Talk about what you've put together.
So what I've done, I'm in the energy industry, the oil and gas industry, and probably since the couple downturns happened, people don't like being sold to. They're comfortable behind their computers, they're comfortable behind their phones, they're not getting out, and I've always viewed that our industry is so important because of relationships, the friendships that are built. Not just friendships, on a professional level, but on a personal level. And I saw a need for that. I saw that there was a lot of the decision makers weren't attending the industry events. The people were, every time they went there, I use the term chum in the water. They'd go, oh, when are you picking this up? Can I get this work? Can I submit this bid to you? So I kind of want to develop an environment that was kind of a safe space for the operators, if you say that. So so my goal is kind of to bring people together, good people together, where you have there's no transactions. It's just the whole goal of it is let's develop friendships, develop relationships. Let's make our industry a little bit smaller, so when good times come or bad times come, people can help each other out. And I think right now, not just in the energy industry, but in the world right now, we're taking the work out of networking because it's always a good time. There's no presentations, there's no sales pitches. Let's just meet and develop relationships. And I think it's crucial, and it's important.
And I think it's so important that they get leadership from the top. I'm glad that you formed the group the way you did because, like you said, some networking groups, you just feel like it's a business card exchange. And then the group falls apart because nobody's finding true friendship and connection. So I want to put on the screen some pictures off of Instagram. This is your crew, isn't it?
Well, this is the tennis crew. So okay. So it's one of those things, for me, crew, it's like, it's not just my company. If you've met at an event or if you know someone that you've seen at the event, you're part of the crew. You're part of the energy crew. You're part of the connection crew. And majority of these, it's just, good people. Some I've met, some I haven't before, and we just get together. By the end of the night, it's always great relationships that occur after it. It's introducing people that, whether they can do something for you at this current time or whether they can help you out right now, that's not the point. The point is establish a relationship, establish the friendship, establish the respectable friendship, and you never know, maybe 2 years, 2 months, 6 years down the road, you can help them out or they can help you out. And that's kind of the goal of it. It's just kind of part of being a connector. I don't even like using that term, but that's kind of what the business I'm in, is that whenever you do connect two good people, next thing you know, they're hanging out outside without you. They're hanging out without you. You get kind of jealous, a little FOMO and all that stuff, but that's the whole point of it. That's the goal of it, to have these relationships that span after the events, and you see that. So that's kind of what all those were.
And I agree with you because I think some networking groups are formed around business and it's all business, and you never really get to cut loose or find out, oh wow, you went to this college, and oh my goodness, and we have this in common.
To me, the traditional networking events, that's exactly right. There's a huge word there, work, and it's very stuffy. It's very, as you said, transactional. It's very, you don't get down to kind of know what who the person is, what they're going through. Oh, you have kids that do this for. Well, I'm doing that. Oh, my kid's facing this issue too, or I'm going through this right now. I could really use some help. Well, I'm going through that too. So once you peel back, I guess that professional corporate layer and kind of get to know someone on the genuine level. To me, that's where the magic happens, and that's kind of the whole goal of what we're trying to do. What I've been trying to do for over a year now, and it's gotten great results. Actually, tonight we're having a one in Fort Worth, and this will be. We probably have the range is about 16 people, 14 to 16 people around the table. No sales pitches, as I said before, and we're having our 500th E&P operator at the event today, and it's looking back, starting a company, you never keeping track of the data. You're just blowing and going straight forward and all that stuff. So over this past quarter, I've kind of taken a look back and look at the demographics of who goes to these events, the levels they're at on the corporate ladder, kind of where they stand on that, and also the numbers. So yeah, 500 E&P operators. And I never thought we'd get here, but it's a pretty cool feeling.
Well, and one of the things that keeps the group together is your podcast. Talk about that.
Yeah, so this is my second podcast. So the first podcast I started actually kind of why you started this, is kind of to bring people together, to get voices out. And it was actually during the pandemic. There was a pandemic 2 years ago. I don't know if a lot of people out there know about that.
I read
yes,
something
there
about
was.
that.
There was. True story. So there was a pandemic out there, and it was one of those things where it's like, look, as I said before, I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I definitely can BS. And I wanted to have a platform where people kind of get to know the person behind the role, get to know the person behind the position, which is very similar to Connection Crew. It's let's know people on a personal level, on a genuine level. So I started my first podcast, and it was. To everyone out there trying to start a podcast, why not? Just try it out. I enjoy it. There's no competition. Everyone's got their own message, their own style. So I just decided to do, hey, look, it's going to be a casual. I got 5 questions. That's what I'm talking about. But the problem was I got bored. I got bored asking the same questions. So I said, okay, I'm going to peel back. I'm going to only have 3 prepared questions, and 2, I'm just going to go with it. And from that, now I just don't do any prep work or anything like that. So my podcast now, I started probably about 16 months ago, and it's called Energy Crue. And Crue is spelled C-R-U-E, like the great band Motley Crue. And it's not just focused on energy. I mean, I've had some great bourbon distillers on the podcast. I've had some community leaders. I've had some great charity CEOs come on and talk about their cause. So it really isn't just about oil and gas and energy and all that. I want to encompass. I mean, because we're all the community's energy. So it's kind of we've had about I think 65 episodes in the last 16 months, and it pretty much ranges wherever. And it's literally just casual shoot the bull conversations.
That's a ton of shows. We've got some video from one of the shows. Breakfast Runs, is that the name of the show?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that. And where was this filmed?
So this was at the NAPE conference in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And look, I kind of like making things casual, kind of like you. You make it very comfortable here, and I like to emulate that. So we're just that's Joe Snow. He's an entrepreneur as well, and an executive coach, a petroleum engineer by background, and he's up in Pittsburgh. And we decided to meet up. Hey, look, I got a camera, got a mic. Let's get a couple old fashions, and let's kind of hear more about you and kind of have a catch up with Joe, pretty much. And I called them breakfast runs initially because in the oil and gas industry, working in sales, you would it's pretty much cold calling. You just go into an operator's office and you sit there with your donuts, your tacos, and you'd hang out. That's a breakfast run, and hopefully you see someone. And after the pandemic, you couldn't get into offices, so this was an opportunity to kind of create that corporate office chatter or banter, wherever whether you're talking about fishing or you're talking about supply chain issues or personnel issues. It was kind of an opportunity to kind of have the same style of conversation that you once found in the breakfast room when you could go in offices.
Okay, I want to set up this video first. Kids Crew. So before we roll it, tell us what Kids Crew is.
Okay, well, Kids Crew is kind of a project that my wife and I started. So, in the market today, everything's polarizing. You have to be in this camp, you'd be in that camp. You're either in the Chick-fil-A camp, you're in the Popeyes camp, you're in the H-E-B camp, or the Stop. There's always camps, and unfortunately, energy right now is in those camps. It's either oil and gas or renewables, and for me, it's all energy. And actually, for a lot of people in the oil and gas space, it's all energy. We support all energy. So this whole this versus that thing, to me, and I feel that there needs to be a the energy IQ needs to be raised. So, I'm sitting there one night, and my wife and I were kind of talking, we're having a glass of wine. I was like, why don't we just do something? I mean, you hear so many companies these days saying, oh, we should be doing this, we could be doing this, and it's like, let's just go do something then. So we developed something what originally started off as, let's take the kids on a museum tour to like, hold up a sec, let's kind of build into this. We want to promote STEM activities and hobbies. And the point of that is so those activities and hobbies kind of they get into it more, and that translates to STEM careers. And so we want to promote that, and we also kind of want to highlight the realities of energy, and whether it's renewables, whether it's hydrocarbons, and kind of make a point that hydrocarbons are essential to every aspect of our life. Your baby brother's diapers, your iPad that you play Roblox on. It's everywhere in our lives, medicine, makeup, whatever. So we kind of just want to bring children together and kind of show energy with these fun STEM experiments. We have different operators kind of competing for the gold drill bit. And the experiments aren't just oil and gas. It's chemistry. It's viscosity. My daughter started using the word viscosity after the last kids Crue. So it's a fun time to bring children in and kind of learn about energy, renewables, learn about hydrocarbons, and get them pumped about STEM experiments and STEM activities. We want them to go home and make a mess at the kitchen table making slime and learn why that slime is made though. Why does slime form, and why do parents hate it?
JP,
So that's it.
I think you're a genius. Let's go ahead and roll that video.
Hi, my name's Nikki and I'm with Ulterra. I'm out here at Kids Crue today and I'm so excited to be a part of this and to help bring the energy industry together.
Hi, Greg Dowdy with Cougar Drilling Solutions. Happy to be here today at the Kids Crue event. It's really exciting to teach the kids how oil and gas has evolved in our everyday lives, how much it impacts everything from our clothing to our transportation to our iPads, especially for the kids today, and everything that we use every day. So I'm really excited to be a part of the event and have Cougar sponsor the event today. We're always glad to do anything to educate the future engineers.
Hey, I'm Brett Gilbert with Trinity Operating, drilling engineer. I'm out here with Kids Crue to teach my kids about engineering and teach them a little bit more about what I do as a drilling engineer. I think this is a great setup for families. The kids have had a lot of activities and a lot of sugar. Really great time.
Hi, I'm Carly Johnson.
And I'm Trevor McIntosh.
And we're here today working with kids, teaching them about the basics of oil and gas.
Yep, so we have a lava lamp experiment where we're teaching the interaction of gas, oil, and water and how the three phases mix.
I think it's very important for kids these days to start getting interested in things like this at a very young age.
Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Abbott and I'm here with
David Little.
Yep, and we're both here with EOG Live Unplugged at Kids Crue. We've had multiple kids come through our station. Our station has clearly been their favorite.
Absolute favorite.
And the reason is Jello. What are we doing with it?
So what we're doing is we're taking the kids through the three different phases of drilling, completions, and production. And as we go through completions and begin to describe it, they actually get to do an experiment where they get to frack the Jello using syrup, but they think it's oil. That's fine.
Yeah, we basically put the syrup. Hey, come up for an up close.
Why don't we do this?
Come up for an up close. So you put the syrup in the syringe, and then you frack the Jello. How cool is that?
How's everybody doing? I'm Tyler with Oventive. Really excited to be here today at the Kids Crew event. I think it's great to educate young people, future industry leaders, on what we do as far as oil and gas. I'm hoping everybody's having a great time, so thanks for having us today.
Hey everybody, my name is David Gibson. Just attended the first ever Kids Crew event here at the Houston Museum of Natural Science. It's been an absolutely amazing day. The kids are completely tired out. They are ready to go home. So obviously we've had a lot of fun. It was a lot of enjoyable stuff. I got to learn something. The kids got to learn something. We got cheers for Oventive, cheers for EOG, cheers for Marathon. It was a whole bunch of fun. I look forward to being able to do or go to this event again in the future and hopefully be a part of next year's. And hopefully you're here with us.
Now, if you recognize JP there, he had long hair.
Yes.
You were Thor there.
I was Thor there. So, yeah, I started growing my hair out about 3.5 years ago when I was dating my wife at the time, and she's a musician, rock star. And she's like, you know what? You look great with long hair. You know, as a guy, dating, okay, I'll do it. So I started growing it out, and next thing you know, it's like down to here, is longer than my daughter's, and I had Brittany Franklin, the CEO of the Sky High for Kids. It's a charity that works with children with pediatric cancer, helps them and families, gives back to research, and it's I was like, yeah, maybe, kind of dusted it off, and then my buddy Chris Gallia, who's on the YP e-board of the Sky High for Kids, he's like, hey man, you gonna do it or not? Come on. So I kind of got heckled into it, and it was 5 gentlemen in the oil and gas industry, all had long hair, all were growing it for this cause, and all in, we raised $35,000 for children with pediatric cancer, and me and this other gentleman got in a competition. So I raised about $13,000. The night of, he got about $13,500. So the night of, I was second. So I cut my hair, $13,000 in, and I take a picture. I have a mustache at the time, Maverick. Of course, everyone has a mustache. So people are chiming in, talking smack about the stash. And I said, okay, look, just because I cut my hair, we can still give. So let's do something about this. So over 48 hours, $1,500 was raised for my mustache, all in. $14,500 was donated. I told my wife that it was the cheapest, most expensive makeover that I've ever gotten, but it's all for such a great cause, and it was fun. Yes, I picked up my daughter after the first time. I equated to back in the 80s when the dads shaved their mustaches. Yes. After like 20 years. All the kids were like.
All right, yeah. I think we should have the viewers vote by their comments on this video. See if you like JP with his long hair or his.
Well, I'll show you side by side after this. You can have them vote. That'll be a good basis.
Awesome. Well, you've been an amazing guest. We're going to end with your website, which is connectioncrew.com.
That's right.
JP Warren, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. What an experience.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.